Hey guys, I'm back here in Pompeii on the adventurer, and I'm here at the house of the man Caecilius. You may know him from your Latin 1 textbooks, and yes, he actually existed. Metella is sedet in atrium. You may not know that, but I'm here in Pompeii, and I tried to get here during the day, but it was too crowded. Couldn't get anywhere, so I'm here at night. I have special permits, but I can't enter. It's being closed for construction. It's a little chilly out, so I've put a jacket on. And yeah. So actually, when Mount Vesuvius erupted, it was unexpected. Even though that they had had some tremors and some earthquakes, they had no idea what was going to happen on August 24th, 79 AD. And it was such a tragic thing. Actually, during this time, the Pompeians accepted suicide as a honorable type of death. It wasn't necessarily an honorable thing, but for them, during this horrible time, it was okay. There's some people here and there actually, but not much. No one's gonna be interrupting me today. So, in the Pompeii was founded in about 600 BCE, and it lasted very long before the Mount Vesuvius erupted, and it was a glorious city, and it took such a long time for them to find it, for them to rediscover it. It was actually in the 18th century when not only Pompeii, but Herculaneum was also rediscovered and excavated. And even though they rediscovered Pompeii and they know it exists, they only have a small part of it because most of it has been built over by the modern Pompeii, or it's been looted. It was looted long ago. And the one account we have of the eruption of Mount Vesuvius was from Pliny the Younger, not Pliny the Elder, as many of you might confuse him with, but by Pliny the Younger, and he actually watched Pliny the Elder leave and try and rescue some people. But that wasn't his only goal. He was also going to try and get a little description of his own for his book. And he ended up dying from sulfur dioxide and other toxic gases coming from the volcano. He got too close, and he ended up in rubbish. And as you may know, Caecilius and Metella, they were rich. They were the equivalent of the 1% of Americans today, and they had some exotic dinners. Any rich Roman had exotic dinners, not because it tasted good, because it was expensive. It was, which some of their meals were quite cruel. They ate mice. They stuffed them as large as they could, and then they ate them, cooked them and ate them. And actually, one of the few surviving things that still survive to this day is the laundromat. The Romans had a version of theirs. But they didn't have detergent like we did. No, they used urine. It wasn't straight urine though. It was very heavily diluted in water. And they were run by slaves that did the work, and the owners and earned the riches. Normally, in most families, the slaves were treated like family to the owners, and a lot of them stayed with their family until death. Not just because it was their service, but because they wanted to. They were accepted into that family and treated as well as the family. The Pompeii, which, as you should know, sits on the Bay of Naples, it was famous for its wine, so wine became heavily important part to Pompeii's economy. And one of the sadder parts of the slaves, they weren't just like family, the owners could keep an intimate relationship with their family, or with the slaves, sorry, and still be married. And one thing that still hasn't changed, I guess, is that Romans had fast food places. They had their McDonald's. It probably wasn't as big or as fattening, but they still liked their food on the go, just like we do. And the life expectancy for a Roman around that time was about 35, which is amazing because it was larger than the past and future civilizations after the Roman Empire. And it's not just for some weird reason. No, they had hygiene. They didn't really realize how important it was, but it gave them their long life expectancy for that time. It was, I believe for them, it was more physical appearance. And I have a little show here for how serious the Pompeian eruption was. If you just give me a second to get this ready, I have some materials to show you how deadly this was. Now, don't try this at home. I would not recommend it. So, let me just show you what we got going on. This isn't going to be your typical third grade volcano experiment. So, you can see that we have Mount Vesuvius here, you know, and then here's going to be represented Pompeii. Just this little rock thing. I'm going to move it a little further away to show you out. So, a little closer. So, this is going to be Pompeii. And this is going to be Mount Vesuvius. And that's going to be Pompeii. So, like I said, don't try this at home. Alright, ready? I may not be a professional, but this is as close as I can get to what happened, except when the Mount Vesuvius erupted, it clumped all together, all the gases clumped in the air and spread like wildfire. And they condensed and rained upon the city. Unlike anything else, destroyed the city. Just destroyed it. Sorry there, just a little bit of a fire hazard. Just a little bit. Like I said, do not try this at home. You could burn your house down. I'm Riley Gray, and this has been The Adventurer.